Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Last episode, we did a little bit of running around to try and get things understood with what's going on here at Archimere's Manor. And we need to loot something out of there. There's basically three ways in. 1, bully the person in the dark cupboard in order to get their key. 2, go on top of the place, jump over, and probably have to deal with some incredibly powerful guardian. Or 3, sneak our way underneath. That said,
Got it.
since I believe the person we would need to hand things into is elsewhere, how about instead we go take a look at this Water Shapers Guild that's all the way up here that I happened to find a while ago. I mean, I haven't gone into it yet. I suppose we can at least take a look and see what we see. Seems fair to me. There we go, and up this way. We may as well. Okay, that is actually kind of really neat, the way the water is kind of pushed to the side like that. We'll try and break in after.
Takehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
A guildmaster in fine robes stares down the sizable, blue-skinned Almawa before her. Students observe the exchange in a loose circle, exchanging whispers.
Guildmaster, be reasonable.
He tosses his anemone-like hair, which glows faintly as each bulbous strand settles in place.
I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
He crosses his arms and raises one eyebrow. The murmurs of the crowd grow in volume.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
She pacifies her tone suddenly, conscious of the onlookers. I'll say nothing.
My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
In spite of their obvious age difference, Takehu raises an instructive finger to the guildmaster. She flares her nostrils and takes a deep breath.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child.
Say nothing, we're just watching.
For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
The guildmaster sidesteps Takehu and takes long strides away from the circle. Sparing another glance at Takehu, the crowd disperses.
Ugh, insufferable.
Takehu sighs and smooths back his hair. He turns his attention to you with a raised brow.
Did you need something? Or is it enough to bask in perfection?
Takehu grins and opens a palm, inviting you to speak. I take it you and the guildmaster don't get along.
Kira, I bring art to the Guild of Water Shapers, but they do not tolerate expression here.
So I can see.
What I am is to blame, I say.
A godlike?
Just so. Blessed and cursed at birth, I say. Water shaping is Ngati's gift to the Huana, and apparently I am too. Savior to the tribes.
He folds his arms and grimaces. Shouldn't you be just a little grateful? His upper lip curls and he waves you off.
The only question is, do I return to my duties, or while away a few hours in the bathhouse?
Takehu tugs on his hair and purses his lips. I'd say consider your responsibilities first to determine whether you can afford to shirk them.
The guild can wait until I am good and ready to return.
Water shaping sounds like a prestigious talent.
Well, through our connection to the gods, the Huana mold water like it is clay, easing it into an assumed form.
Grinning, Takehu adjusts his posture to assume a flowing, almost weightless stance.
We could sink every ship in Rawatai's fleet if they drew too close to the city, but some of us have gentler tastes.
He sighs and stands once more at ease.
Some of us see water shaping for what it is, a gift of divine expression.
So then you're a water shaper.
Well, surely you have seen my works across Nekitaka.
Takehu knits his brow with immediate concern.
Look to the antechamber of the Kahanga Palace for my apple of Ngati, or to the luminous bathhouse for my dance of the wanton priestess.
Takehu folds his arms and nods toward the door.
For as long as there have been Huana, there have been water shapers. But only since Takehu has water shaping been art.
That is debatable. Have you got something to tell the crown?
Kara, I sent the prince a missive and heard nothing back.
Takehu crosses his arms and sighs.
He is a busy warrior in a time of peace, I say.
Well, let's go talk to him together then. Being a watcher tends to open doors.
A watcher? And here I am, used to being the freak of Pariki's overlook.
He rests a hand on his hip and grins.
What does a watcher do?
Let's see. I commune with the spirits of the dead.
Ikera. Just so.
He strokes his chin, nodding.
I say I am no sailor, and I know even less about death. I am an artist.
He stirs his fingers through the air, drawing together droplets of moisture into an orb of water that floats over his palm.
My peers do not understand. Water shaping to them is like studying calligraphy. To brew ink and sort parchment.
He lets the orb fall to the ground and splash at his feet. Well, I'm curious to see what you can do.
The tide brings unexpected gifts. You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears.
Indeed, I'm connected to that.
And louder whispers of a corpse who follows him.
Takehu raises one of his brows. Do I look that dead to you? I ain't a corpse. I mean, okay, I almost died, but still, I'm not a corpse.
What will you do when you catch up to this walking god?
Well, Aethys needs to answer for his actions.
As do many mortals in the Deadfire. It seems the gods are no different. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship.
Takehu inclines his head and touches the circular marking on his brow.
Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
He winks. Aloth does not seem to like him very much.
No one's ever called me beautiful before.
Blushing, she averts her gaze. Well, let's be off.
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. A fair warning, Captain. Ngati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion.
Takehu tosses his hair and sighs contentedly. What? Can you breathe underwater, too?
Good guess. Only for as long as, well...
Takehu folds his arms and considers.
I say you will learn. In time.
He winks, his eyes suddenly as dark as beads of polished onyx. Druid, Chanter, or Tharouge? I think we're gonna go with Druid. And
Farewell.
we'll take him and Seraphin for now.
If you want for company, look no further.
Hey, a few more level ups. May as well put him in. First up, Jyoti leveled up. Let's give her a point in alchemy. And a point in religion. And we've got two things here. She automatically gets Circle of Protection, bonus to all defenses. Let's see. Enemies in the area take a penalty to defenses and accrue burn damage. Interesting. Allies gain strong. Regain health when someone gets killing blow. Nice. Tougher. Allies get accuracy and might, while enemies receive penalties. Okay. Strikes fear into the hearts of the unworthy, frightening all enemies. Okay. Penetration with acid and decay. Penetration with electricity, with fire. While casting targeted area of effect spells, gain the ability to increase or decrease the size of the area at the cost or benefit of power level. That is an interesting idea. That said, I think the Bless and Bane spell is a good idea. Triumph of the Crusaders sounds very handy, but so does Shining Beacon. Definitely not Terror. I hate Terror abilities, because then you gotta chase the enemies all over the place. Which likely ends up with you chasing them into other locations. which sucks. You know what? I'll take spell shaping just for the sake of... Well... No, she's... Yeah, I think I can pass with that. Let's go with Triumph of the Crusaders. That's... yeah, I think that could be good. And as for you, Seraphin... Let's see... Yeah, I have a lot more mechanics, so I think I should work on building up that. I'll give you Stealth and... Streetwise seems a decent one. You're kind of balanced overall. And you have options of, let's see... Maximum and Stardom Focus would be good. And the spell you're gonna get... Pierce damage to all in the line of attack. Stuns the target and deals raw damage and interrupts nearby enemies. Yeah, ciphers are complex. Finds an ally with a mental block in their pain. Some of these are interesting. We'll go with Psychic Howl. Works for me. Now then, how about we take a look at this new guy first? So, Takehu. You wield a Water Shaper's Focus, and you're wearing a Water Shaper's robe. I don't think we really have anything specifically to give you. I mean, we've got a Water Shaper's Focus, which we will be able to improve later. As for skills, let's see. So you're a druid. A lot of intellect. Seems your specializations are metaphysics and explosives? I did not expect explosives. But okay then. And you have a load of spells.
You need something.
You? Let's see. Andra's Whip, Tanglefoot, Nature's Mark. Let's see. Moon's Light. Heals allies. Freeze damage. Wood Skin. Robust. Blindness and freeze damage. Okay, so you do have some spells and abilities. Alright. Well, it seems you have things to talk about. As you turn to Takehu, a shadow passes over your vision. You feel a tug from somewhere deep within his soul. A faint ripple creases the air between you two like a forest of ethereal kelp. Surrender to the sensation. Takehu's soul is vibrant and energetic, almost too lively to occupy its mortal shell. There is a bright thread of energy that trails away from him. You instinctively follow it. You stand in a grand hall, underwater and cloaked in oppressive shadows. Pillars of coral and bone reach up to support a ceiling that must be hundreds of fathoms away. Chandeliers lit with bioluminescent globes dangle from long ropes, swaying in languid tentacular motions. At the farthest end of the hall sits Andra, as tall as a castle keep, and leaning forward in her throne. She has adopted the head of an anglerfish and regards you with its globular stare. Her sickle-shaped jaw opens and closes in a rictus of conflicted emotions.
A life without friction or challenge has left the boy in need of guidance.
The voice of Andra pounds at your mind with relentless force.
He thinks himself frail, but my heart beats in his chest. He is stronger than either of you could know.
She claps her hands and the vision shatters, flooding the hall with a deluge of awareness as you return to your senses. Regarding you with a warm smile, Takehu at first seems oblivious to your momentary detachment. Then his brow furrows with concern.
Captain, what say? You look a little blue about the gills.
Andra just reached out to me.
Ingati spoke to you.
Skeptical, Takehu cradles his chin and considers.
Ha! To leave her son guessing. This is my tricksome mother through and through.
She seems to care about your well-being.
What mother doesn't?
There are some out there.
You must be special indeed for Ngati to speak with words. For her people, she lays out cryptic stepping stones hidden in omens. Akira, but send her my fondest wishes.
I'm sure. So, where did you live prior to Nekataka?
The Kahanga are my tribe, but my people settled on Atua, an island too modest to deserve the attention of maps. My mortal mother tans boar hides. My father trades in the abundance of pearls and opals Atua is blessed to provide. When I was born, father called me his blue topaz boy.
Takehu scratches the back of his head and grins. Have any other notable godlike come from Atua?
Doubtless, I say. But I am the most precious gem of recent history. Godlike are revered as bringers of local change, but only Ngati's chosen is thought to deliver an omen for all Huana at once.
Well, your birth must have been a big event.
Ikera, high winds stirred the vigor of the seas. 2 huts collapsed before our local storm speaker could shout down the weather.
He beams with pride.
They say the skies only cleared when I fell into the midwife's basket. Peace had returned to the island. Or so the Mataru predicted.
And what did you do around the island?
Oh, I could not be kept from the water. So my father taught me how to dive for pearls and azada snails. Ngati filled my palms with riches on every harvest, I say. When I came of an age to begin a man's pursuits, the Mataru reached out to the Kahanga Queen. Weighing my arrival against the forces that descended on her territory, the Queen could not invite Ngati's chosen into the Watershapers Guild fast enough. In hard times, the endorsement of a goddess is more valuable than currency.
Arguably so.
Akira, speak on.
Tell me about water shaping.
Ah, the art of our ancestors, I say. To bend water to our will is a gift from Mother Ngati to her chosen people.
Takehu stands tall and grins with pride.
Since devastation swept our way of life out to sea, too much of the art has been lost. Periki, founder of the guild, organized the lore of Ngati's talent into a series of postures and meditations we call the 4 forms of water shaping.
And what are these forms?
Try as we might to embody Ngati's element, our bodies are not water. Ikera, this is the form of grief, a beginner's test.
Takehu closes his eyes and sweeps out his hands, exhaling sharply.
The body's internal water is a force that conquers all. Even the mountain will bow to the stream. The form of hope, I say.
Takehu crosses one leg before the other and sways on the spot.
Water commands its vessel, and the vessel can be shaped as surely as the mountain. The form of metamorphosis, Ikera?
Takehu opens his eyes, which now resemble polished onyx. His smile is hungry, predatory. He blinks and the effect is gone.
The art is a challenge to grasp, difficult to master, and impossible to perfect. Unless you are Ngati's chosen, I say.
You said there were 4 forms?
Ah, it is only by force of habit that I omit the final form. We do not speak of it in the guild. The form of transcendence.
Takehu closes his eyes and concentrates. Holding out his palms, he bites his lip and focuses. Finally, he shakes his head and stands at ease once more.
Only a story, I say. Even crafty Periki could not commit this ancient form to her scrolls. It was said that our ancestors could shape the very oceans of the Deadfire. This was Ngati's true gift, but we have yet to recover it from the ruins of our past. Try as we the bot walk the phone. It was said.
Okay, and that's all there is, so we can be off. One more thing I forgot to check. Reputations. So, let's see. Takehu does not respond well to criticism against or hostility toward the Huana culture or its people. That makes a lot of sense. Takehu believes in outlooks and actions that seek to reform society and are not held back by traditional ideals. Okay. Believes that the godlike are inherently beneficial influences on Aora, impacting religion and society for the better. Pious and believes others should show respect and reverence for religions and the gods. Makes sense, he'll probably get along well with Jyoti. Supports the various Huana tribes and communities of the Deadfire. Appreciates jokes and levity in life, even in the darkest of circumstances. Respects those with a healthy sense of self-worth and the candor to be open about it. And dislikes and opposes Rawatai and the Royal Deadfire Company. Noted. Alright then. Well, we've got a new companion who will be interesting in his own ways, I'm sure. Let's take a look around here.
Sure.
Pitied is Ngati, Lady of Lament, as the pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view. Her eyes well with tears as constant as the rain. Oh, the lover's affection as ephemeral as fingers touching, but the moon's skyward journey continues apace. Okay, I read those in the wrong order. There's the guild master. Let's take a look at the rooms to the side first. Warua. A young Huana holds out his hands as if to catch an incoming missile. He winces in concentration and an orb of water rises and floats in midair. Sweat drips down his nose. Takehu clears his throat loudly. He flinches, and in that instant the water loses all shape and splashes onto the floor. Crestfallen, he sighs and drops his stance.
Damn it, Takehu, why? I almost had it that time.
Not even close. If you want to achieve the second form, you will need to loosen that posture. Spending a day submerged in the bathhouse always helped me.
Did you need something?
He nods to you and shakes out his arms, readying himself for another try. Well, you seem to be having trouble.
I can feel the connection to Andra just like Myru taught me. But there's something missing. Maybe it's my form.
Any advice to help our friend here with his water shaping, Takehu?
Remain loose, but not too loose. Confine yourself, but spread out at all times.
He nods, passing you a secret smile.
Like this?
Warua shuffles his feet apart and squeezes his shoulders together, looking to Takehu for approval.
Perfect. Keep at it, and you'll be teaching me the fourth form in no time.
He claps Warua on the shoulder, upsetting his stance.
Suppose I'll give anything a try.
He nods to you and resumes practice. Hopefully that does work out. Nothing of note in here. Alright, we got the library and the meditation chamber, so let's go take a look. Pretty sure these would all be Oh, that one's not stealing. The four forms of water shaping and Daraku's reply. What follows is an initiate's primer in the four forms of water shaping, which comprise the basic lessons of our guild: grief, hope, metamorphosis, and transcendence. So we heard about those three. The form of transcendence: water covers Aora. If water can be shaped, so can the world. And Daraku's reply. Myru, for what did you send me away to meditate on the fourth form in uncharted waters, only to summon me back to the Kahanga fleet? A bomb must have gone off in Serpent's Crown, one of revelation if not black powder. The interruption is a setback. I trust that whatever happens next will propel our people forward. I will sail Pariki's resolve into the waters where I suspect you need me most and await your orders. I hope that the rumors carried upon the waves are to be trusted. I would tell you to send Onakaza my love, but she knows that it is hers. Tell her that she needs only snap her fingers and I will be her storm again. Doraku, Master Water Shaper. I'm gonna ask him about that. Guild Ruins.
Why not?
This ornate basin makes a high-pitched ringing sound when pressure is applied around the outer rim. So, there's a letter left from Myru, not Warua. Myru is the guild master. Okay, let's speak with them.
You have questions for me. Speak up, I say.
Guildmaster Myru folds her arms and nods. Tell me about the guild.
Ikira, my pleasure. Water shaping is a talent bestowed on the Huana by the goddess Ngati. Hariki was the first in recent memory to organize the talent into a series of teachable forms. What else would you like to know?
Where do the water shapers get their power?
Our art is the yield of the Huana's ancient covenant with the goddess. Our ancestors pledged to protect the luminous Adra, the islands, and the tribes. Ngati gifted us with the strength to keep our promise.
And what do water shapers do, exactly?
We control tides, prevent storm damage, and keep unwelcome ships at bay. Of course, you already know Takehu, our prized pupil. We represent the best of Huana achievement. No small responsibility. Akira.
Alright. Well, if that's all we have there, I suppose we have a little bit of time to take a look in the ruins. Maybe there's something interesting in there. And we'll have Takehu running around with us for a bit instead of Aloth. We'll see what happens.
Ain't city's got regulations against this sort of place? No?
Leave it to me.
Let's see. This stone door is sealed shut. A few engraved symbols stand out among the other carvings and inscriptions. Apart from that, you find no evident means of opening the way. A faded inscription is nestled among the elaborate stone carvings. Read it. Huana runes decorate the stone entrance. Ingata would not have gifted her chosen people a watery covenant unless they persisted in deserving it. This sanctum is a covenant of our making. Only the sigil of the covenant and the words of my devotion will open the way. Pariki, Master of the Guild. I see. We do have a path down here. I can loot that. The statue depicts an Amao woman, her hand extended and grasping at the air. An eroded plaque sits by her feet. Something about the statue calls out to you. The echo of a fractured soul that tarried in this place for long and thoughtful years. You feel victory tinged by grief and regret. Inspect the lingering soul. Your vision bobs with the motion of the sea. You stand aboard the deck of Swiftwinds, where your mates share bemused, self-congratulatory glances as they work. One of them claps your back with approval. Shake off the gesture. You step back and aim a reproachful look at your mate, however friendly his intent. You know there will be time for reprieve when you are squared away in Nekataka. Something cuts through the water to your port side, an enormous shape just beneath the waves. Someone shouts that the winds have turned in your favor at last. This is followed by an enthusiastic cheer among the crew. You don't share their mirth. Eyes to the horizon, I say. You bring home a mighty gift, though it takes an unusual form, one that you pray to Ngati you were able to keep in check. The vision dissipates and your hand and your land legs reassert themselves. Attempt to read the plaque. The words are much eroded and water damaged, but a few choice snippets of phrases stand out with clarity. Pariki, Lauren Hunter, cross the length of and back again, bird for, cunning deal, Lafus, may her rest, Wilty soul, Edom. Closer scrutiny reveals that the inscription was purposefully marred, an act of sabotage done perhaps years ago. By the thoroughness you suspect Kith hands.
This is the tomb of Periki. Such disrepair, I say.
Hold her hand. You grasp her hand with tenderness. At first nothing happens, but then a tiny droplet of water forms at the corner of her eye and rolls down her cheek, dripping on the floor. Wipe away the tear. You reach out and draw your thumb down the statue's cheek, wiping away the trail of moisture. For a moment, the stone feels soft to the touch. Well, that's very interesting. Okay, I can disarm the trap. No, I do not. I don't know why he was disarming it. I would like to talk to this guy, but I feel like we should do it in the next episode, because this one's gone on about long enough. And I'm curious, we might have more to learn here. So, next episode, we'll speak to this Ikanu person and see what we can learn here. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Falai. That is Laniara, Adair, Jolti, Seraphin, and Takehu. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, and I shall see you all next time.